Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Wood. Thanks for anybody who may tune in. Anybody who does, this is very serious and important. I am a 5-year revenge retaliation, full physical identity theft victim with 100% proof from very seriously dangerous people who I just recently found out who are possibly linked to terrorist group Al Qaeda in Napanee, Ontario. They are already guilty of slave trafficking, full identity theft, brain injuring, skull splitting, body mutilations, torture crimes on me, false arrest, kidnapping, blood and piss forcing, extortion, surrounding hands on guns, arrest refusals, of course, lies, time buying, cover ups, medical file falsifications for discriminations and treatment refusals, being falsely charged twice, very seriously dangerous OPP cops who are possibly involved also with Al Qaeda. The one on the guy on the thumbnail, his name is Burt Hustler. Anyway, XOPP Chief or Commander, year 2019. He drove a white Jeep Wrangler in Napanee, Ontario before he left. He had me shot with something on the corner of Bridge and Center Street at the stoplights in August of 2019 at my previous address. I then started whatever it was. It wasn't by a bullet, it was by something that went into my right ear. I then started having a lot of problems, wondering what was going on. I decided to go to the hospital. Finally, after going, I got an appointment for a CAT scan appointment in November of that year. I go to my CAT scan appointment in November of that year. I was with my mother, who was alive at the time, and another. And all of a sudden, after I got my CAT scans, I wanted to see the results, picture results for myself and everything. I was told I needed medication and da 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 da. I was medically blacklisted, wondering what the fuck was going on. I was there to get help to find out I was shot with and what was causing my problems. I then was pretty much medically blacklisted after that. Come to find out that the one person involved is one Dr. Tatiana Vakadinovic. She is guilty of falsifying my medical file. She is guilty of getting me medically blacklisted, discriminated against to assure crimes against me. She is the girlfriend to a mental health worker named Stacy, who was Kingston AMHS now, or she was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS. They are girlfriends, and she is the one that was talking to her prior to my CAT scans. I had no association with this person. She had no reason to be there. She had no business to be there. She had no right to be there. She apparently said she was there for me for anxiety for my CAT scan. I had no association with her. She had no business to be there, and I certainly do not have anxiety over a CAT scan. 100% bullshit lie. When she found out I was there with my mother at the time and another, she walked by, left. I was medically blacklisted after that. Other police that are involved: sex assaults and kidnapping. Staff sergeants, years 2019 and 2021. Ass ripping pieces of shit. Shannon Cork, Robert Lucas. He actually told me one time, he could fuck me, could kill me, could get away with it. Money Badge Family Town Council. 100% right. There is Dave Weiss, Constable Ward. Stacy, once again, the mental health worker. Shelley Hafner. Hafner had me kidnapped May 27th, 2021, 24 hours after me asking for help with what has taken place with me. That was done in an attempt to shut me up to get me kept where they got my blood and piss under duress and threats. Criminal accomplice doctors who were involved at Lenox and Addington County General Hospital who are guilty of criminal negligence with the intent to commit and cover up for themselves, for the police, and for their accomplices. Once again, Dr. Tatia, she goes by Dr. Margie V, also two names, Dr. Margie V. Her real name is Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, all Lenox and Addington County General Hospital. There's also ex-CEO Covey Duck and patient relations had me falsely charged in an attempt to give me a record in an attempt to get away with what they are getting away with, what they've gotten away with, in an attempt to fuck me before I had a chance to bring criminal charges against them. Their accomplices who are guilty of my identity theft, working with them for OPP who are drug traffickers, sex slave traffickers, sex offenders, drug addicts who are also selling lace drugs and committing overdose murders as well. And if they are involved with the guy on the thumbnail, they are also involved in Al Qaeda as well. As it stands right now, Ontario Provincial Police are guilty of treason and acts of domestic terrorism for what they've done to me. Their boss, accomplice, a guy who is approximately 70 years old, he is a stalker. He is untouchable, unarrestable. He is also friends with convicted serial killer Russell Williams as well. He is a copycat. He is associated to this piece of shit. He's approximately 70 years old. He used to live in Picton, Ontario as well. He has many alias names. He goes by Bill Woldridge, Bill Coolidge, Bill Delarosable, James Bubbles, Stephen Mavis, which is the name of an inmate escapee walkaway. He also goes by Robert Cross. He used to criminally stalk children for OPP, ex-chief or commander, the one that had me shot for sex slavery trafficking. He frequents a place called Coffee Cravings, Loaf and Ale, and on a building on 34 on Water Street in Napanee, Ontario. He is guilty of criminally stalking my mother. He was told and believes that he and I were switched at birth. He thinks that he is my dad, and when he was stalking my mother, he was calling my mother mom. Highly psychotic, very delusional, and very disturbed. His boss, co-offender, accomplice, the ones that with Robert Kane, OPP, Blair Frederick Hardy is also guilty of being involved with my mother's stalking and murder December 20th, 2020. He is a meth trafficker. He is allegedly involved also with Al Qaeda. He is guilty of multiple homicides, identity thefts and frauds, welfare, disability, pensions, and insurance frauds, bank frauds, forgeries, and multiple homicides. He's guilty of criminally stalking me. He's guilty of brain injuring me, body mutilations as well. He cannot be arrested. None of them can without $22,000 because they are the accomplices to OPP and they can obviously implicate them. There is a Robert Barry. He is a sex slave trafficker. He is a truck driver, and he is a possible serial killer as well. He and his boyfriend, who is an alleged HIV/AIDS victim, and he is committing sex assaults and spreading his disease. There is a Burt the Hitman Hustler. He is a alleged NHL hockey player for the Philadelphia Flyers and Hartford Whalers. He is a sex slave trafficker. He is the one on the thumbnail. If he is involved with Blair Hardy, so therefore he is involved with Al Qaeda, possibly, along with the police and others that I have named and naming. He is guilty of criminal stalking. He is guilty of torture crimes on me. He is guilty of being involved with my identity theft, brain injury me with 100% proof. Jason Van Alstyne, he is guilty of skull splitting me. He is guilty of criminal stalking. He is guilty of attempted murder with the intent to commit identity, disability, and insurance fraud. He is a crackhead. Between Napanee and Kingston, he sells laced fentanyl. He is a stroke victim, and he is committing homicides that way and getting away with it. Tyler T. Bag Lake, he is OPP cop Robert Kane, #1 rat informant. He is a meth head. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog in March of 2023. He's guilty of attempted homicide on me, threats, and attempted homicide. Raymond LeBlanc, he is a criminal stalker. He is guilty of torturing and killing my dog with Tyler Lake in March of 2023. He is a child groomer. He is a drug trafficker. He is guilty of attempted homicide. Harry Hartwick, he is approximately 83 years old, 83 to 85 years old. He is a child groomer. He is guilty of torture crimes on me. He is guilty of skull splitting me, brain injuring me, and body mutilations. He is guilty of serious abuses on me also as a child in Winnipeg, Manitoba. His nephew, Dale Hartwick, who is guilty of brain injuring me, skull splitting me, body mutilations, attempted murder with intent to commit identity theft for drop charges, and homicide for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife or ex-wife's boyfriend. And his boyfriend, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns, he also goes by Tony Montana because he believes he's the bad guy. He is highly psychotic, highly delusional. He thinks that I am a wolf. He is guilty of being involved with my identity theft. I have pictures where I look exactly like him. He's guilty of skull splitting me, brain injuring, body mutilations on me. He's guilty of attempted paralyzing me, sex assaults, and attempted homicide with him for his boyfriend, Dale Hartwick. They are speedheads, speed traffickers. They are registered sex offenders. They are untouchable by the police. And once again, the guy on the thumbnail, Burt Hustler, and Blair Frederick Hardy, he is the one with Bill Woldridge that own OPP, with them being associated to serial killer Russell Williams, and Blair Hardy's also allegedly associated to Paul Bernardo as well. They are guilty of committing tortures, homicides, full brain injuring, skull splitting, identity thefts, and multiple murders. By them doing this to me, they are guilty of ending the Wood bloodline as well. But once again, it just recently came to my attention. Whether true or not, I have no idea. I have to find more out about this, but it is possibly true that they are associated to Al Qaeda, the terrorist group in Napanee, Ontario, as well. They are involved with police who are very seriously dangerous. As it stands, once again, are guilty of domestic terrorism and treason by doing what they've done to me. They are the ones responsible for everything that has happened to me over the course of 5 years, including my mother's death and my dog's tortures and murders. They are all accomplices with and for the police, whether in Napanee, have transferred or not, are still guilty. I'm getting air pumped into my head. I have a tube. You can't really see it right now, but I have a tube in my chest. It actually goes from my groin on my right side up to my nipple on my right side, and from my nipple up through my throat, and it bulges out. And I have shown it. It's bulged out about like that much. Seriously. It's like a tube that I've never previously had, and it goes up around my neck to the back of my head. And I have shown it, and I get air pumping through me all the time. I get piss and shit going through me all the time. I get complete total right brain hypoxia all the time. My brain is being burned out of my fucking head. My skull is being burned, and that's how I am going through my identity theft and changes. While I am medically blacklisted, compliments of these filthy fucking doctors who are criminally involved. And the only reason this happened to me was because of me speaking of OPP crimes, the human trafficking and homeless exploitation for monetary gain out of a place called the Morning Star Mission in Napanee, and possible money laundering that was taking place there through the homeless and coldest night of the year, it's called. And I became a target after that. There is also a guy named David Smith. He is a pastor, a priest, whatever, and he is also involved with this as well. There's that tube in my throat right here, and that's not a normal vein either. It comes from my chest. It will start to bulge out, and it will go up to the back of my head, and I'll start getting air and shit pumping through me. And I've not had any surgeries either, and that sure the fuck is not normal to have. Anyway, thanks for joining anybody that just jumped on. I know I kind of set a time limit for this to chat. But for the ones that did, thanks for joining. I hope you're having a good day. No matter what I have shown, no matter what I have proven, I have not been able to get any medical help. I actually had to do a video a while back stating that I would give up my medical rights within Ontario and not seek any medical help no matter what is done to me. I was forced to do that as well. And now, because of my file being falsified and me being discriminated and medically blacklisted within Ontario, if I want medical help or I need it, I have to go to Quebec, down east, or Manitoba. And that's a fucking fact. I have absolutely no feeling in the right side of my head or my face. My skull has been completely and totally split right down the fucking center. This whole side of my head, and that's where I'm getting air pumping through me. It's totally 100% numb. I have absolutely no feeling, no stimulation whatsoever in my damn head, and I am also blind in my right eye and that eye as well. It glosses over all the time. This eye, it will gloss over all the time, and it will actually look like a fucking snake eye once in a while. It feels like this whole side of my face is caving in on me, even as I'm doing this right now. My skull is being pumped up. I'm getting air or something going through me on my left side. All of this started to happen to me too after I was shot by XOPP chief or commander in 2019 as well. Okay, I am gonna actually get off here. I don't want to be doing this for too long. Once again, the one on the thumbnail, his name is Burt Hustler, and he, along with others that I have named, are possibly involved with Al Qaeda with terrorism. OPP are guilty of domestic terrorism and treason as it stands. From whatever they had me shot with, have me stalked, medically blacklisted, tortured, kidnapped, false arrested, and a lot more, having my mother stalked and murdered, my dogs killed. They're guilty of ending the Wood bloodline for revenge retaliation. Once again, XOPP Chief or Commander, year 2019. Staff Sergeant, years 2019, 2021. Shannon Cork, Robert Lucas, Dave Weiss, Constable Ward, Stacy, a mental health worker, Kingston AMHS, Shelley Hafner, Napanee, unless they've transferred to avoid arrest and charging in lawsuits. Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic, Lennox and Ellington County General Hospital, is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit and cover up. Their accomplices associated: Dale Hartwick, Tony Hearns, Blair Hardy, Bill Wooldridge, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Burt Hustler, Robert Barry. Are all guilty of murders and attempted murder in Napanee, Ontario. Jason Van Alstyne, one way or another, I'm going to have you arrested and charged. Look what the fuck is going on with this whole side of my face. Sean McKay, he is also involved with this too. He is another one, and there is another guy named Chris Brandt. He actually lives in Deserano, and he is a hermaphrodite. He's involved with this as well. I've been naming names for 5 years consistently: whom, how, and when, and why. And I've not been able to do anything about it. Medical, legal, human rights have been taken while my identity is being changed, and I am being seriously mutilated with proof and being blamed for it myself. This is how OPP traffic, frame, and kill. I hope this is seen. I hope it's shared. I hope it's liked, because this needs to get out. I need help with this. My life and my bloodline are on the line for this, and it is revenge on me. Nothing